Hello, all. Good morning, and welcome to Wake Up with Marci. It's time to be inspired, empowered, and learn to live our happiest lives. Today, we learn how to know, trust, and like yourself better with author, spiritual leader, and transformation expert, Kim Woods. We then hear from Rob Vanbergen, Certified Holistic Health Practitioner, about healing benefits of Microcurrent Technology. Then we learn about travel with Vanessa Gordon, CEO and publisher of East End Taste Magazine. We then hear from Kelly MacNeal. She joins us from Everything Branding with some great springtime essentials. Lastly, we meet Matrimonial attorney and Wake Up correspondent Karolina Dehnhard. She shares about vaccinations and divorce. Now let's meet our guests. Kim, welcome to Wake Up with Marci.
Thank you so much for having me, Marci. It's great to be here.
It's wonderful to have you. And you are a spiritual leader and a transformational expert, which is love, love, love. And what I love about you is that you actually married your spirituality with a multi-million-dollar business strategy. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. Yeah,
Tell us more.
I know you don't see that every day, right? So, well, I had grown up in business. I had done the corporate career and I had, done the consulting, and I love business. And then my intuitive gifts just kept, getting stronger and stronger. And I realized that I wanted to incorporate both of them. And so that's what we decided to do.
So just real quick, for someone out there that doesn't really understand the spiritual side of it, or listening to their intuition, could you just touch on that for a second?
Absolutely. So here's the thing. You need to know, like, and trust yourself. And that's the basis of all my work, to unlock the keys to your personal, professional, and financial success. And when you do, you get certainty and you gain satisfaction and you still get to achieve success. So I've revolutionized that traditional know, like, and trust factor that everybody in business knows. And yet I turned it inside out. And I said, wait a minute, what about you knowing, liking, and trusting yourself first? And then you become the magnet. So people draw people towards you instead of you going out to reach out to the marketplace. And it really works.
And also just like how powerful you must feel once you do decide to do that for yourself, right? I mean, that is incredible.
Absolutely.
So one of the things you have is the True Klt process. So first of all, what does that stand for?
So the True Klt is that true know, like, and trust factor that we're turning inside and out. And then the process is to help you know yourself better. So we go into helping you develop your intuition. You can use mine until you develop yours. And we're doing lots of things with products and courses in that area. And then that liking piece, though, Marci, that really is the one that people often overlook, because it's what's that satisfaction? What brings you passion? How do you feel powerful and strong? And we make sure that we open you up to that piece. And then the trusting piece. That really is the big one, because when you trust yourself, that's where you really get that magnetism and that charisma, so that you attract more love and money into your life.
Can I just ask you, how do we learn to trust ourselves?
That is something that's so huge. When my son was born with significant health issues, that's when I realized how little my know, like, and trust factor was, because I was busy building the career and I was going after the success and I was doing all the things I thought I should be doing, but I wasn't satisfied. And I didn't trust myself, because when the doctors told me that he wouldn't be able to walk up the stairs naturally, or throw and catch a ball, or have a normal social life, I said, oh my gosh, like, it knocked me to the floor. But actually it recalibrated me to help me remember who I am at the core. And so this is the thing, you're talking about trust. I am getting to the answer. To trust yourself, you have to know who you are at the core. And for me, I'm a strategist and I'm wildly intuitive. And so I didn't push away the doctor's advice, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to go with your prediction. I'm going to defy this. And I created a strategy for him that was my definition of success. And through the strategies, I had to trust myself for 8 years before we saw the actual fruition of them.
Amazing.
Sophomore college, He's a great
Wow.
athlete. He has a wonderful social life and has a great sense of humor. So the know,
That's
like, and
beautiful.
trusting, following your intuition is really key.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Just real quick, you also have an assessment for us
Yes.
to take on your website. So tell us real quick about that and where we can find you.
Absolutely. So the assessment is because it's not an easy thing to answer the question, how you know, like, and trust yourself. So we
Mhm.
built this quiz. It's at truekltquiz.com, and you can determine how you know yourself, like yourself, and trust yourself based on avatars, because everybody loves a profile, right? Everybody
Yes.
loves an avatar. And then you can find me at Kim Wood's channel across, Facebook and
Mhm.
LinkedIn and Instagram. And I also have a book coming out.
Yay!
Yep, in early 2022. So you want to definitely get on the list. If you take the quiz, you'll be on the list. You definitely want to do that because this book is going to have all the things in it.
Congratulations. How
Thank you.
exciting that is. I mean,
Thank
that
you.
is a huge undertaking.
It is a
So,
huge undertaking.
yeah, you have climbed that mountain. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on Wake Up with Marci and helping us to know, like, and trust ourselves, and we can learn more. So just reach out to Kim Woods, and super exciting, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marci. It was great to be here.
Hello, Rob. Welcome to Wake Up with Marci.
Hi, Marci. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. And I want to touch on your story because it's pretty special, and especially because you found something that helped you. So when you were young, you grew up with scoliosis, pain, and anxiety. So please tell us what it was like growing up with that.
Sure. So I was about 9 when I was diagnosed with scoliosis. And honestly, I dealt with a tremendous amount of pain. And as you mentioned, a lot of anxiety. And I honestly think what really came about with the anxiety was because I was experiencing that pain every day. And I was always fearful of when it might get worse, or even when I did get momentary relief, I was worried about when's the pain going to come back. And I do feel that fear is probably one of the hardest parts about dealing with chronic pain for most people. And then to top it all off, I had nasty kids at school who were bullying me, picking on me. And it really compounded the whole thing.
Absolutely. That is just, kids can be so mean and it affects you for the rest of your life. So you found something though that helped you, and that's microcurrent technology. Is that correct? You say it changed your life.
It did. It changed my life. After years of pain and anxiety, microcurrent enabled me to regain my childhood and live a life that is essentially pain-free. And honestly, it impacted me so much that it's become my life's work. Now I have the opportunity to give that same level of pain relief and freedom back to people experiencing chronic pain and illness.
So I can't imagine living with chronic pain, what you must deal with. And I mean, it's just incredible that you have found this technology and now are helping others with the same. So thank you for your work that you are doing out there. You also found that this has helped your autistic son, which is amazing.
That's right. Yeah. So my son, James, is 10. Like many children who are autistic, has a massive amount of sensory issues. So if James were to get bumped on the playground, for instance, it could feel like he broke a bone. He might have this huge, massive pain reaction. And of course, what happens on the playground? Kids fall, they get scrapes. So his reaction is often one as if he needs to go to the ER. It's like, I've broken a limb kind of thing. So the sensation of using microcurrent is actually like a tickle. But I was afraid and frightened that James wouldn't be able to tolerate that because that's how sensitive he was. But, after a moment or two, he did sort of get used to it. And I now actually allow him to use the machine on himself. So it's easy enough that a child could use it.
Incredible. So please tell us exactly what microcurrent is.
So interestingly enough, I think this will come as a shock to many people, microcurrent is actually already in your body. So it's an electrical signal that passes through the nerves and soft tissues of your body to sort of either stimulate healing, cause an action, or even turn the pain switch on or off. So essentially what it's doing is it's allowing the brain and the body to communicate. So you recognize this in those sort of split-second reactions that you get. Like if you're about to step out into the street and you see a car coming, you can immediately react. You can get out of that danger. And that's the microcurrent signal. It's being sent from your brain, it's traveling through the body, and it causes you to react, and it helps you to survive. So
wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. And a proper microcurrent device actually allows you to take control of that nervous system. So you can trigger healing, pain relief. You can use those frequencies to dial it in. And as opposed to pain medications that travel through the bloodstream at about 3 miles per hour, microcurrent is lightning fast, about 300 miles per hour, to provide relief within minutes.
Incredible. And this is what you do as your profession and help people with this microcurrent. That's your practice.
That's right. And we help people by giving them the equipment and allowing them to use it on themselves so they can take their lives back.
Wonderful. How incredible is that to be able to take your life back? So Rob, please tell us where we can find you.
So you can search for us at www.painfreeforlife.com. And there's loads of ways to contact us on there.
That's incredible. Pain free for life. I love that. So thank you, Rob, for coming on Wake Up with Marci.
Thanks for having me.
Next up, we hear about travel from Vanessa Gordon, CEO and publisher of Easton Taste Magazine, and some great springtime essentials from Kelly MacNeal. Vanessa, welcome to Wake Up with Marci.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you on because we're going to be talking about travel. Get me out of here.
Yes, likewise.
So you're in the Hamptons, regularly. Right now you're in Florida. So thank you for joining us. But you know, you write for the Hamptons magazine. You are giving such incredible advice. So first of all, let's just talk about the Hamptons and what is going on and what should we look forward to?
Absolutely. So actually, people are already gearing up for quite the busy summer season ahead of us. Thankfully, there are a few events that are going to be going on. For instance, Hampton Classic Horse Show, as of now, will be happening. So we're really excited about that. And people are really getting, that edge to, to get out of the house and finally enjoy perhaps what we've been used to as far as those busy Hampton summer seasons, but naturally, of course, with safety precautions in mind.
Yes, absolutely. So, well, let's talk about that. I want to talk a lot about travel and what you have found and where else we can go outside of the United States, because it's exciting to plan something to look forward to. But you have always been a huge traveler, and I'd love to know, like, what are you seeing that is different now, and what are you doing differently?
Absolutely. So I think the focus now going forward with travel is perhaps more smart travel. Everyone that I know that's vaccinated is I would say a good majority of them are already planning some really awesome travel experiences, perhaps even outside of bucket list experiences, sustainable travel. For instance, people are becoming, more, after they've been doing all those road trips throughout the past year. They've been taking into account the destinations that they're going have to be, perhaps ones that not only they could fly to, but perhaps areas that they could drive around and get to really know the area and stay locally, as opposed to, sticking to an itinerary and try to jump around a lot.
Right. Well, what about traveling outside of the country?
Absolutely.
Where are some great destinations, and also what has changed for travelers?
Absolutely. So as far as international travel, I would recommend, Croatia is going to be very popular, in the Balkans. Greece is picking up a lot of interest. But perhaps more destinations, not necessarily going to Paris, for instance, but perhaps to the countryside. I'm noticing a trend in, perhaps pod travel or traveling together with your family.
Oh.
But perhaps to where, so say if you're going to the French countryside, a lot of the hotels or the boutique hotels there are offering packages where people perhaps could go out, explore the landscape, instead of doing their traditional like buffet breakfast. They're actually doing more picnic style breakfasts or lunches that people can take with them on the go.
Yeah, that sounds so lovely. So I want to bring it back local here, back to the Hamptons. So I, for one, have never been to the Hamptons. I must make it there. And I've lived in New Jersey for 15 years now. So I'm waiting for the invite, Vanessa.
Yes, anytime.
Let's talk about some of your favorite restaurants or things to do.
There's so many great things to do really for everyone. I mean, right away, I would say, outdoor dining is really big. Even throughout the winter, it was so fascinating to see people sitting outside eating. And hey, if you enjoy it, it really is all about the experience. So that's what was so lovely. So I always recommend restaurants that have ample outdoor dining. Kalisa comes to mind right away in Watermill. The 1770 house in East Hampton has a lovely garden in the back there. Make sure you make a reservation if you can, at least a few days in advance, because remember that restaurants are only operated at a certain capacity. And my goodness, there's so many
great advice. I know. And I think we're going to really want to be outside, of course, right? So looking for those destinations. So I just want to thank you, Vanessa, for coming on and giving us some tips and things to look forward to. So get us out of this house.
Yes, please. It's my pleasure. Anytime. And you're always welcome to come out to the Hamptons. Happy to have you.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. All right. Have an amazing Saturday and enjoy Florida.
Yes, likewise.
Kelly, welcome to Wake Up with Marci. So excited to have you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to share with you all of my great spring must-haves. Are you ready for me to dive in?
Let me tell you, we need some spring essentials and things to look forward to, some gifts for ourselves and for others, right? So let's go.
Yes, that's exactly right. I love all of these gifts for myself, but also for Mother's Day, Father's Day. So keep that in mind when I'm going through these items. Well, first, in good taste. This is so cool. 8 carefully curated wines from around the globe, basically. And who doesn't want to be traveling right now? Can't do that. But we can get wines from around the world, which is awesome. They're single serving, adorable little bottles. It's an inexpensive way to try a variety of different wines. You pick your favorites, and then you can get a full bottle of that favorite of wine. They offer virtual wine tasting as well, which is so fun. ingoodtaste.com. Next, for Mother's Day, what mom doesn't want her favorite picture on a gigantic, cozy blanket? And that's what you get with that blanket. It comes in fleece or Sherpa. She can enjoy her favorite picture on very, very high quality print all year long. That's thatblanket.com. Now, next, my family's been hiking like crazy nowadays, and our muscles have been so sore. This is why I love DNA Vibes Jazz Band. So basically what it is intelligent, targeted therapy, light therapy. You basically put it wherever your muscles are sore, shoulders, even elbows, knees, and the light helps with circulation. It also helps decrease inflammation and helps your muscles recover quicker. So what do you think so far, Marci?
I love it. And I love a personalized gift like that blanket. That's so awesome. So let's hear some more.
Okay. Well, next, this is Unicurl. I love this woman's story, the founder of this product. She's a registered nurse. Her name is Alexis Stanley. Out of a necessity for her own type 4 hair, she had some breakage happening because of a salon debacle. And she decided, I want to try to come up with an 100% vegan product, all natural, to help my hair heal and nourish it. She came up with Unicurl because it's unique curls. Friends and family loved it. And it did so well with them that she decided to package it. It is now in Sally Beauty Supply. That is Unicurl. So awesome for type 4 naturally kinky hair. Love it so much. Next, these are the most fun candles. Malicious Women Candle Company has the most delicious smelling candles with the funniest, most hilarious labels. For instance, this one, don't make me use my mom voice. Love it so much. I want to give this to every one of my mom friends. And there's a variety. There's up to 150 different labels. So check out maliciouswomenco.com.
Love it.
I know, me too. Next, this is Path. It's drinking water, but it is not just ordinary drinking water. They have 3 options: alkaline, purified drinking water, and sparkling. So the thing I love most about this is actually it's hybrid packaging. Well, that's what I call it anyway. You can use it as a single serving, kind of like a, plastic throwaway water bottle, but you don't throw it away. So we're not contributing to the landfill. It's actually made with 100% recyclable aluminum. Inside, it's lined with BPA-free lining. I give this to my kids so they go to the field. If they leave this water bottle, I don't care because I haven't spent a lot of money on an inexpensive water bottle. So I love Path Water for the taste and also just for the packaging itself. It's so awesome for moms. Now, a lot of us have been sitting on Zoom meetings and all that fun stuff nowadays. And, we have our alignment thrown off and we're kind of sore in our hips and stiff. This is Aletha Health Hip Hook. This little tool actually helps open up your hips, helps with alignment, and gets to spots that you can't normally get to. It is designed by a physical therapist. So if you're having any kind of alignment issues from back to hips to knees to feet, this is your item, alethahealth.com, the hip hook. So awesome. And it comes with this book as well. Okay, last product, Limitless Innovations. It is a company, family owned, small business. It's an online store that has amazing tech products. These are my very favorite that I picked out just to show your audience for Mother's Day and Father's Day. They have Tiki Tunes, which lights up like a tiki torch and you can blast your tunes in the backyard. It's a Bluetooth. Love that so much. I think this is my absolute favorite. This is called the Jump Smart. Why? Because it's 3-in-1. It is a jump starter. It's a battery pack and also a flashlight. I love it for Mother's Day, Father's Day, and I also love it for my teenage drivers. They can keep it in their car. So I know if they get stuck or in a bind, they at least have a flashlight and a jump start.
Thank you so much for sharing all of these amazing products. You've had some great ideas and there's codes where you can get a discount. So thank you for offering those also. And if you guys have missed any of them, just check out wakeupwithmarci.com. So thank you, Kelly, again for coming on Wake Up, sharing these amazing products. And I'm excited to check some out myself.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for having me.
Next up, we hear about vaccinations and divorce from matrimonial attorney Karolina Dehnhard. Hello, Karolina. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Marci. How are you? Happy to be back.
I know. I'm just so excited that you are on this team and helping us. And today we're going to talk about vaccinations and divorce. Very important.
Absolutely. Listen, divorcing parents already disagree about pretty much everything there is to disagree about. Yeah. Imagine now adding the conversation of vaccinations in general, if there's no consensus, and now bumbling in New Jersey of having the COVID vaccine become mandatory for children under 16. The floodgates are open. The arguments are starting.
Yes. What do parents do when they don't agree? Divorced parents. What happens?
So, listen, it's one of the most controversial conversations you're going to have, especially if there's religious issues. So when you were married, maybe you dealt with it somehow, but now that you're getting divorced, the need to raise your children a certain religion becomes paramount, right? Because now you're no longer going to be together. And quite frankly, why should you compromise if you feel very strongly? In New Jersey, public schools have a medical and religious exemption. About 2% of kids fall under each exemption. So rubella, mumps, so on, right? If you don't want to vaccinate your child and you have a religious or medical exemption, you were able to provide a blood test to the school and get by not having the child vaccinated. But what's happening right now is that there's legislation being proposed in New Jersey on the Democratic side that's saying that we want to make the COVID vaccine mandatory. So how does that now go hand in hand with the medical and religious exemption while this would be mandatory? It's a tremendous conversation, but parents are already starting to get nervous about what this will mean for the exemptions they have.
Let's just say that they don't have any religious issues with this. And one of the parents wants to go forward with it and one does not. What can they do? How are they solving this issue?
I think that we're going to look at parents depending on where they are in the process. So if we're just talking about getting divorced, complaints haven't been filed yet, we're going to try to resolve this issue by way of mediation and compromise, right? I mean, obviously, if I'm representing the wife who doesn't want the child vaccinated, I'm going to suggest all the studies that are out there. Moderna, Pfizer, the Johnson & Johnson shot, it has not really been proven that it's safe for children. There's an argument that 99% of kids will recover even if they get COVID. So if parents don't agree and there's no danger to the child, why push the issue?
All right. So let's say a parent goes forward with the vaccination and the other parent doesn't know. What happens then?
So if we're dealing in post-judgment world and there's a provision in the property settlement agreement that says that all medical choices will be made jointly, you will give notice, you will discuss it. Essentially, you're violating your agreement at that point. And the parent who has been wronged or kept in the dark may very well now file an application saying this custody arrangement is not working. Our co-parenting is not working. Joint decisions are not being made, especially on an issue that is as controversial as the COVID vaccine.
So let's say, obviously you have brought up a lot of issues and maybe some that people haven't even thought about. So if they want more information, where can they go?
Well, I think it's very important to stay abreast of what the CDC and the FDA is doing on this. Stay abreast of your current events. If you are in a situation where you're considering divorce and this is something that's an issue to you, all the more reason to get in for consultation. If you are post-divorce and this is now becoming an issue and your spouse and your ex-spouse and you are already talking about this, you need to go back and speak to your matrimonial counsel as well, because we are learning every single day of what's going on. And again, depending where you practice, different municipalities are doing different things. Old Bridge just passed an ordinance where, Short Hills might be doing something different. So as with everything, Marci, on the Divorce Dynasty platform, it's education. You need to know what the state is doing. You need to know what they could do with regard to federal rights and constitutional rights. You need to know what's best for your child, and you need to know what the school is going to mandate. All of those things need to be assembled and considered, and then you could make an informed decision.
So where can we find you, Karolina, and also the information about Divorce Dynasty?
So I invite everybody to visit us at www.divorce-dynasty.com, which is a beautiful overview of what the platform of vetted professional is all about. Obviously, now we're going to be inviting additional doctors to join to comment and assist on this conversation. But also, I'm a partner of Linda Berry McCormick, so visiting Linda Berry McCormick and just Googling my name, you will get me. I offer a complimentary consultation to anyone that mentions Divorce Dynasty, and this is an issue that I, along with my partners, are very closely monitoring.
Well, Karolina, thank you so much again. So much valuable advice, information, and so much more to learn. So thank you, Karolina.
Thank you, Marci. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for spending your Saturday morning with me. Wow, so much incredible information. It's just amazing. If you want to find out more about my guest, check out wakeupwithmarci.com. Please follow me on social media. Keep up with inspirations and these amazing guests that I have on the show. Remember to be kind to yourself and kind to others. And I hope you have an amazing week. I'll see you next Saturday.
Wake Up with Marci is sponsored by True Serenity Tea, which is a monthly subscription box that delivers award-winning loose-leaf teas from around the globe to your doorsteps. Check out TrueSerenityTea.com to order your subscription box.